Welcome, folks, to The Corruption Within. A friend of mine on Twitter wanted me to wanted me to check out this game, so I figured, why not? So well, I promised him I would because he gave me a copy. This is one of those games that I was going to do it. I was going to promote. I was going to help promote it on Kickstarter, but unfortunately they wouldn't allow me to get any money, give them any money, because apparently I can't give any money from the I can't send funds to the UK. I don't know why the fuck that is, but anyway, enough of the semantics. Let's turn down volume real quick here. And the music is way too loud here. I mean, it's awesome music, don't get me wrong. But anyway, let us begin The Corruption Within. I've already played some of this, so it's not completely blind. I do know where some things are already. Also, there's a little intro that has voice, but after that, there's no voice. I heard from the designer that he may eventually have a full voice-acted game, which, if that was the case, I would definitely buy that. It's definitely a cool game, and that would spare me the of trying to do voice acting. But anyway, on to the show. Yes.
It had been a wonderful week. Camping, hiking, and exploring the countryside with my wife and 2 children.
Oh, exactly. That's right.
We hadn't been able to afford a holiday while the kids were growing up, but finally, between my salary and Steph selling some of her paintings, we'd scrabbled together the funds. With 2 nights to go, we planned to spend the afternoon exploring a section of the forest by the lake we hadn't seen yet.
That's never a good idea.
At dusk, I was collecting things together while Steph and the kids answered the call of nature. They didn't come back.
Ooh.
I spent hours
That's
searching,
creepy.
calling, to no avail.
That's creepy. That music is creepy as all get out. I mean, already the tension is setting in already with that creepy music.
Frantically, I headed toward the only sign of civilization I'd seen. A grand mansion with a mountain behind it and a lake at the front. I'd heard of this new invention called a telephone. Whoever owned the mansion was surely rich enough to own one. Or at least have some horses. I scrambled over old tree roots to get to the mansion.
This is when I realized that this game took place in the 1800s. I didn't even know that. But thank you for alerting me to that.
Rumors and superstitions were rife about this part of the country, but I put those down to silly old wives' tales designed to scare children.
Yeah, they're just silly old wives' tales.
I reluctantly began to wonder if there was some truth to them.
Yeah, and there probably is, considering the creepy music that we're hearing here.
Tales of ghosts and fell beasts didn't bother me.
What are fell beasts?
I didn't believe in such things. The stories of Edgar Allan Poe were entertaining.
So that's the time period this takes place in.
Evil people were capable of that worried me.
That is true.
I reached the mansion and hoped to find help there. At the very least, someone should be able to aid me in some way.
Yes, I'm sure.
If they couldn't, there was no hope of aid from any other source, unless I found my way back to civilization and the police conducted a full search of the countryside.
Yes. Alright, let us...
But it would be too late. This mansion was my only hope.
Right. Well, before we start, I'm going to set a timer here. I don't want my videos to go too long, so we're going to set this for 30 minutes. Alright. Anyway, welcome to The Corruption Within. Let's start looking around. This is an impressive building indeed. It must be a rich family that lives here. Even though it's late, there seem to be some lights on, so I guess at least someone is still awake. I guess nothing else to do but to knock on the door. After a brief moment, a man opened the door. "Just what is your business at this ungodly hour, sir?" "Please, my good man, let me in. My family have gone missing and I need help. Do you have an invitation from a member of the family?" "What? No, I don't. My family have gone missing and if you don't have a formal invitation, I cannot allow you into the house. There are no exceptions. I bid you goodbye, sir." Well, now what am I going to do? A shrill scream is heard in the distance. Was that Steph? I better go check it out. The scream seems to have come from the southwest. Not knowing where I was headed, but following the sounds of screams, I ended up somewhere in the forest. Then I beheld a sight that made my blood run cold. Yeah, that is pretty creepy. There was a man hanged from a tree. As I stared at the grisly scene, a young woman approached me. "Sir, I was sent to find you and give you this invitation." She hands me an invitation card. She is clearly shaken by the sight of the dead man. "Give it to the butler and he will let you in." The young lady stares in horror at the hanging man. "Do you know who this is?" "Yes, sir. His name was Paul. He was a footman. I liked him. He was always kind to me, and he was quite a dizzy, despite not having much education. Lady Charlotte heard you at the mansion door talking to Giles, and told me to come via the servants' door to the forest and find you. She has seen a woman and 2 children who appear to be lost. But then I saw Paul here, and We must report this to the authorities. My family. Someone has seen my family." She is still staring at the body, unable to tear her eyes away. "Shouldn't we cut him down or even bury him?" "We can't yet. The police will need to see the crime scene and interference." I suppose so. I need to rush back. I know it seems cold given the circumstances, but I do not receive punishment for failing in my duties. The punishments can be severe." "You still at work at this time? It must be past midnight by now." "The family I work with have unusual habits. Lady Dennison suffers with lunacy. She becomes highly agitated during the full moon and often creates havoc, so the family have gotten into the habit of staying up late to deal with her." "I see. What about the invitation?" "That's a house rule. Nobody enters without an invitation, even if accompanied by a servant or family member other than Lord Dennison himself. He is a law unto himself." I'm sorry, but I really must get back now. Paul, rest in peace. I will come make sure you get a proper burial." The young woman, weeping uncontrollably, runs back toward the mansion. I'm left with only the corpse swinging gently on the rope for company. Oh, that's just creepy as hell. Looks like he's been here for a long time. The bluish tint of his skin could not be the result of the cold air alone. It's unnatural, like he had some kind of strange disease or ingested some kind of poison. There's some really dense foliage here. I could probably get through it if I had a reason to, but I can't see one right now. Seems like an ordinary sort of rope, expertly knotted. If this was murder, this man was not the perpetrator's first victim. It's too tight for me to untie. Has the person who did this captured Steph and the kids? Why did that girl insist on me investigating this? What strange happenings were going on? Too many questions, which I may regret finding the answers to. Looking at the book back, I can see whip marks. The poor blighter must have been punished for something, or even tortured. How terrible. His body is cold to the touch. I have no wish to inspect it in greater detail. Alright, so I need to probably at some point get that rope down. But anyway, let's move along. Oh, here's a tutorial. A few things to bear in mind. This game saves your progress automatically. Text display speed can be changed in the options screen from regular default option to instant. To return to the main menu, press Escape. To open or close your inventory, press the spacebar or click the middle mouse button. Left-click an item from your inventory to hold it in hand. You can then use it on objects in the world by left-clicking. To return it to your inventory, click the right mouse button, or open your inventory again. Some objects may require a closer inspection, so don't be shy to interact with them a few times. To move around the world, click on the direction arrows that are shown in the bottom right. Alternatively, you can use the WASD keys, which I will never use. Hotspot indicator can be turned on in the options screen. To replay this tutorial, press H at any time. That's it, the tutorial is finished. Keep on adventuring. Alright, I shall do that. The happy days we spent hiking in those mountains already seen so long ago. Okay, nothing else to do with that. A large shed in the middle of a forest. Odd choice of location. It's bigger than I'd expect. Maybe a converted barn. It feels old but structurally sound. A sturdy-looking shed door. Oh, we can operate it. The door won't budge more than a couple of inches. There is an adjustable spanner on the floor, which I can just barely reach. I'll take it. The door won't budge any further. I'm not sure what that wheelbarrow is used for, but it's dark red staining inside. I fear gardening was not its only use. That's probably right. If I have a use for the wheelbarrow, I can come and get it, but I'm not lugging it around with me. Well, fine then. Okay. Bring that back to the hanging body. Which way? I guess forward. Oh, the tree. This tree stands out impressively, even though sometimes dense woodland. I'm guessing it may have been around long enough to have started life when George III was on the throne. Oh, purple plant. This purple plant is everywhere. I wish my employment left me time enough to study such things, but as it is, I have no idea what this plant is. Oh, decision time. Despite this situation, you find yourself fascinated by this plant, and think about taking a sample for when you manage to find your family return home. Since it's kind of unusual, I'm going to send it to be studied. Take a plant to give to Royal Botanical Gardens at Kew to be studied. Alright, your decision has been recorded. I don't know if that's the right decision or not, since this is the first time I've played this game, so I don't really know. I can only see a very deep part of the lake from here. I cannot make out any details. I run straight back to the mansion, not stopping to explore the map-post lakeside area. That will wait for later, should the need arise. After a brief moment, a man opened the door. I have an invitation from Lady Charlotte into the mansion. Although Lady Charlotte does the most extraordinary things at times, I am not going to simply take your word for it. You will have to provide proof. Fine. I see, this appears to be in order. I am not aware that Lady Charlotte has left the house tonight. I suppose she sent a servant to do her bidding. Do come in, sir. I shall take you through to the lounge and fetch her ladyship. Please wait here while I fetch Lady Charlotte. Sounds of whispers come from behind the door. You may leave us now, Giles. Very good, my lady. Lady Charlotte studies me keenly before speaking. I see you got my invitation. Jolly good. Thank you for your kindness and hospitality, ma'am. Of course, of course. Do you happen to know something of my family's whereabouts? My wife and 2 young children, 1 boy and 1 girl. Oh, did I see them? I think maybe I did. You mean you don't know whether you saw them? Oh, yes, now that I think of it, I did. So where are they? Patience, my good man. Patience? I'm desperate to find them. I am feeling woozy. I need to go and lie down. You may search the mansion if you like. I have nothing to hide. Or perhaps I do have something to hide, but I want you to find it. Lady Charlotte gives a small and slightly delirious laugh. I don't remember when I saw them. I've not been feeling myself lately. A loud bang followed by a loud groaning is heard from the east. Yeah, that's creepy as hell. Did you hear that? Your imagination's getting the better of you. This old house is full of strange sounds. That was no random creature created by the wind in an old house. That was someone in pain. Oh, dear heart. Oh, you're a writer. You have the most vivid imaginings. As for me, I need a rest. I shall see you later, no doubt. I'm sure I heard something, and I'm sure people around here know more than letting on. Time to investigate. Yes, it is. I must keep a tight hold of my emotions and remain as objective as I can. My family's future depends on it. All right, then. Let's start looking around at things. What a wonderful sofa. I wish we could afford something like this for our house, or indeed have enough room for it, maybe one day. There is nothing down the back of this sofa. Alright. Looks posh, but I'm not keen on the colour. Not an indoor setting. Anyway, greens are the wallpaper of nature, not of man. I found a coin down the back of the sofa. What a stroke of good fortune. Since Lady Charlotte was so unhelpful, I think I'll keep this, as I suspect it was more useful than she was. This chair looks very comfy. Yet there's no time to sit and dawdle. I must find Steph and the kids. Although I'm very tired, this is not the time to sit down. One of those newfangled gramophone players. We cannot afford one ourselves, but this family has the latest technological wonders. Yeah, there's more advanced stuff now, like CD players and shit. But of course, this game takes place in the 1800s, so obviously they wouldn't know about that. Let's see now. Ah, I see. So now we can play that music. I'm gonna turn that off though. It's too disorienting and too loud. An oil painting of the lake outside this mansion, I think. probably by a local artist rather than a famous one. The lake at night time is rather anomalous, as I found it in the last few hours, although in my panic I barely noticed it at the time. There doesn't seem anything usual about the painting. As far as I can tell, there's nothing behind it. I'm sure at some point that will come in important later on, though. I'm sure. Gaslit chandelier. This family must be extremely affluent. I've seen chandeliers in some of the grand houses I've worked in, but never have seen gaslighting in a house before. A roaring fire heats the room. There's nothing quite like a log fire. The drink cabinet is well stocked with wines and spirits of various vintages. It's securely locked. It seems that the lock is new with some kind of evidence of damage repaired. Perhaps there's a thief in the house. Looks comfy, but I don't like the color much. I won't rest until I know my family is safe. Alright. Already looked at everything in here. That's it. Look at the table, I guess. The dining table and the accompanying chairs are surprisingly astute stare, considering how grand the mansion is. Clearly they take a rather pragmatic attitude towards food. A Welsh dresser. Plates, bowls, and other crockery is stored here. I've always found taxidermied animals rather upsetting, as if we were making a celebration of death rather than life. Too true. The family are certainly fond of this area, not only living here, but filling their home with paintings of the locality, perhaps an indication they have made this small part of England their entire world. Okay, can I do anything else with this? No. Nothing else to do with the table. This cabinet sold all the cutlery. Can I look in it? No. A landscape oil painting adorns the wall. From the local area, I would say, judging by the very identifiable plant. Right. There's a door at the top of the stairs. No one answers my knocking. However, your footsteps in the side, and someone's breathing. There's a wall in the corridor. It doesn't go anywhere else. Yeah, something tells me later on it will. I wonder what these stairs lead to. There's a voice coming from below. Please, sir, don't come down just yet. We're busy cleaning the kitchen. We should be finished around 1 o'clock. Still cleaning after midnight? Is that normal for this place? Sir, some houses upset meal times. Our employers are not like them. Sometimes wanting their evening meal at 4 in the afternoon. Other times 11 at night. Yeah, that's weird. Alright. A grandfather clock always adds an air of elegance to a foyer. Personally, I prefer the casing to be stained or varnished after painting, but I can't deny the clock looks rather distinguished. A rather strange painting of a man, which I believe is in a newfangled style called Impressionism. The grand stairway befitting of such an opulent mansion. As I'm about to go up the stairs, Giles blocks my way. I'm sorry, sir, but I can't allow you to go upstairs and while some family members are in bed. But Lady Charlotte may go anywhere in the house. Sir, I'm afraid the room proprietors of me, I cannot allow it. I guess we'll have to wait. The gas lamp is lit with that huge chandelier. You shouldn't even think another light was necessary. A portrayal of a bat, one of nature's most mysterious mammals. A rather bizarre choice for painting to place in a foyer on account of their unsavory reputation. Yes. A comfortable-looking armchair. I guess some visitors are asked to wait for it for a long time. They need seats. Okay, nothing else to do with that. I just can't like the colour green, but this armchair seems oddly out of place. The rest of the foyer set quite symmetrically. It may not be of particular significance, but it's highly noticeable to some of my line of work. Oh, what kind of work do you do, I wonder? Are you, Oh, here we go. Oh, I heard someone come in. I thought it may be Charlotte. I'm afraid not. I'm a visitor, looking for my wife and children have gone missing. I am so sorry. I've lost children myself. I'd hoped Charlotte had come to play the piano so I could accompany on the harp. It calms me somewhat. Well, lady, I'm sorry for your loss. It was years ago. Years ago. I'm Isabel, by the way. Pleased to meet you. I'm Samuel, my lady. Samuel Taylor. A pleasure to make your acquaintance. Charlotte, is she here? I hoped to play on the harp while she played piano. It cleanses my soul. She plays very well, but she's not here. I will go. I think she's so caught up in her own grief that the fact my influence must didn't even register with her. A bit of an odd fish, really, but I suppose it's understandable. I have rarely heard the instrument played, but I'm told it creates very beautiful melodies when in the hands of a skilled harpist. A seating area for those who communicate with those with talent in music. Okay. I would no doubt only manage to make a horrible noise with it. Yes, most likely. According to a tiny plaque, this painting is called The Purple Rose of Cairo, artist unknown. This statue is huge, almost twice the height of a man. I would presume, given its location, that this statue is of a famous composer, but it's not one I recognize. Maybe someone local or even a family member. A grand piano sits at one side of the room. I can play simple melodies if I have the sheet music in front of me. I seem to have no head for remembering them as some people can. If I had some sheet music that was too complicated, I could play it. That probably means we need to find some sheet music later on. It's a dreadful night. Oh, there's more stuff in here. This bookcase is dedicated to books for children. I've never understood why people hunt owls and put their stuffed heads up on the wall for people to gawk at. What a sign-in for such a majestic creature. Exactly. An unlit oil lamp. I'm not going to carry a bulky oil lamp around for no reason. Besides, someone else might need it. Hey, we might need it, though. This is an adventure game. You never know when something will come in handy. Looks like this room is well used if that fire is still going this hour. I'm actually quite good at billiards when I get a chance to play. Not surprising, I suppose, considering I for angles and distances important to my job as an architect. Oh, he's an architect. This is no time to talk about potting and carooning skills. A section of popular novels, including works by Dickens, Thackeray, Trollope, the Bronte sisters, and others. Alright. Oh, I can hear the clock strike 1. Well, that means I can now do what I need to do, which is go down those stairs. There's a long, thin pipe coil up here. It must have been used to pump up the pool at some point. It seems to be surplus to requirements. I've taken the rubber hose. Alright. I got a hose now, for some reason. My knowledge of Greek mythology is limited, but I would say these unclad ladies are nymphs. The one on the far end is holding a cluster of grapes. The bronze feels smooth to the touch. What a lovely way to relax this must be. It's cold. Clearly whatever fire normally heats this is not burning right now. That's understandable given that it's the middle of the night, though I'm starting to feel that nothing would surprise me in this place. Yeah, exactly. Alright, and I need to do that. The stone pillar rises impressively to a high ceiling. It is not marble. The family's wealth is vast, but not completely unlimited. Alright. What else to do? That's the same thing. This light highlights the charms of a particularly beautiful statue. Alright. Can we do anything with the hose? I don't know if I could attach the hose to that. Okay, so we need to attach it to something later on. Alright. Well, now we can go down those stairs. There we go. Hey, it's the lady from earlier. Hello, miss.
Hello to you too, sir. I'm Francesca, the kitchen maid, and parlour maid too, since we hardly have any maids left.
Wait, I recognize your voice. You're in the forest by the man that hanged.
I was told to go and find you, sir. It wasn't my idea. I do what I'm told. Obedience is sometimes rewarded, but disobedience is always punished.
What happened to the other maids?
I was told they all went away for personal reasons, but I fear something terrible happened to them. People acting strange, terrible noises at night. I can't see nothing more, sir. They have always been eccentric but kind, sir, though in recent years there is more eccentricity and less kindness.
How long have you worked here?
17 years, sir. I was brought here when I was 10. I was an orphan with no one to care for me, a kid with dead foreign parents living on the streets of London, until Lady Isabel was kind enough to bring me here.
What can you tell me of the staff?
I like Moldy and Gary. I steer clear of Giles when he's up the pole. He can get a bit handsy, if you know what I mean. Penelope, poor thing, completely lost her mind when the children died.
Is there any truth to the tales of foul creatures roaming this part of this country?
Not that I've seen, sir, though I've heard terrible noises.
What kind of noises?
Howling of anguish, it seems to me sometimes. Whether I'm human or animal, I do not truly know, though my heart tells me they are human.
That's terrible, you told me one of this.
I quickly learned to keep my mouth shut, sir. People told me I was a silly girl to say such things.
I shall speak with you later. Bottle of port and whiskey. There's just a bit left in it. I can't just take the bottles nearly finished, so I'm going to ask the kitchen maid first. Can I have that bottle of whiskey, since there's not much left in it?
It's only leftovers. They're still given to service and kindness. You ain't having that for nothing.
I can give you this coin as payment for that unfinished bottle of whiskey.
3p? Well, not to be sniffed at, considering my paltry wages. It's a deal. Take it.
It's only now I realise I've left my wallet at the campsite. Yeah, that was stupid of you. I've taken the bottle of whiskey. Alright, let's look around at the other shit. These look like Lady Henniker apples to me, so probably used for cooking rather than eating raw, although some do like the sharp taste. Alright. A pot of cold gravy,
possibly waiting to be reheated, although I doubt the family will be very impressed by that idea. Grapes, an ornamental bowl containing grapes. Presumably it gets put out when the family wants it, but otherwise kept out of the way. Or maybe someone's going to eat the grapes once it looks less appetizing. A handy implement for chasing away rabbits. No bones nearby to chase away. The oven is good for the gas cooker by the look of it. I wonder if normal folk will ever be able to afford these. We can have microwaves now. Very much a stove upon our diet, potatoes. It makes me show that they how terrible the Irish potato famine must have been. I'm not sure what's in this barrel. Perhaps it's simply used as a makeshift table. I've no idea when we can reach these pots. Maybe the ladder or a hook on a long pole. Can't go in there? Okay, so that just takes you back that way. Ah, okay. Well, let's talk to her too, I guess. Running water is essential to keep everything clean. These must be murdered to get clean. I hear scullery maids are expected to rub sand at them with their bare hands. Jeez. The magnificence of the rest of the building includes an extent of servants' areas. Various cleaning implements are kept in here, I presume. And they won't let me look at them, I guess. A quick shower reveals these pots to contain spices and biscuits. Who are you, child? Begging your pardon, Lordship. I'm Molly. What work do you do here? I'm a scullery maid, your Lordship, though I clean the bedchambers too. That's just wrong. She's way too young for this kind of shit. How long have you been working here? Since I was a child, your Lordship. I am not too certain of my age when I was brought here. I don't remember my parents very much, but Lord and Lady Denison were kind enough to take me in, give me a job, food and lodgings. What do you think of the family you work for? Please don't ask me such things, your Lordship. I would have no home without the family's kindness, but no, please don't ask me this. Please, if you know something important about the family's matter, you must tell me. I'm sorry, I cannot tell you anything more. She seems to know something, but is too scared to tell me. Whether it's being scared of losing a job or something more, I cannot tell. Do you have a telephone in the house, or any horses? That's no, your Lordship. They're very like being an exclusion. We do have horses, but not for some years now. My wife and children are missing. Have you perchance see them? It sounds not, your Lordship. What do you know of the dead man hanging in the forest? A dead man in the forest? How horrible. But I know nothing of this, your Lordship. I'll take my leave of you now, child. Yeah, you basically had no information for me at all. God knows. I'll back you with the spanner. Nah. Alright, let's get out of here. We can now get by the, we can now get by this guy, because we have something that he wants. The floor mat's been well chosen to have sympathetic colours. Yes, we have something he wants. This. But we have to talk to him first. So you're the butler. What's your name? I am indeed, sir. I've been mid for many years. I go by the name of Giles. I do know butler's allowed to drink on duty, but I can smell whiskey on his breath. How long have you worked here? A little more than 2 years, sir. I started as a stable boy, would you believe? Back when the family still had horses. Of course, I was a mere wee lad back then. A mere wee lad? You Scottish? You got the twang, did you? The answer is yes, but barely. I was a wee bram when I came to England. I already see my Scottish kid. Every now and then the old language slips out door. That was a really terrible accent. I hope it was, you know. I apologize to anyone for that butchering of the Scottish accent. Do you have a telephone in the house or any horses? Alas, no. We have no real means of communication with the outside world. The family likes being in seclusion. We did have horses, but not for some years now. Do you know much about this mansion? It's a very old building, but on the ancient ruins of a Roman villa. If you can find him, he's in a talkative mood. Lord Denison knows much more than I, and indeed anyone else does. Can tell me anything else, the Denison family. It just founds a noble heritage dating back to Edward III's reign, and have lived in this area since Charles I was on the throne. The current Lord and Lady are very traditional in their views, other family members less so. Is there anything you can tell me about the other servants? What can I say? Gary's honourable but dim. Francesca's doing her best to be a cook. Marla's a sweet girl who says better in this place, and Penelope lost her mind when the children died. Don't ask me more about them. I would have thought a mansion this size would have many staff, not just 5. You'd be right, and we had about 20 staff here once, but so many have died over the years and not been replaced. Do you know anything about the hanging of a man in nearby woods? Gracious me, no, sir, I do not. Shame to reveal another death in the area.
What do you mean, another death?
So it seems that this is a most unfortunate place, sir. Many deaths over the last few years, or maybe suspected deaths is a better expression. Possibly just disappearances. I mean, really, who knows? What do you know about the deaths? I know nothing at all, and that's what I'll tell anyone. You clearly know something you'll never tell me. Have you seen a woman and 2 small children in the house? I have not. Someone else should have let them in, I suppose, but I find it extremely unlikely. With a few staff here available, it's not like anyone's looking for extra work. I have some whiskey if you're interested. It's a mere snifter, but from a good distillery, yes, I'll take it. I will go and enjoy this summer private. I won't ask where you got this from. And off the butler's gone upstairs to drink his whiskey. Alright, we can now... Oh yeah, I've already been there. That goes to the right. Okay, I see. So this takes you, go to this door. Okay, so going to the right, I guess, takes you into this door. Going up will take us up the stairs, I guess. Furniture blocks the way to the left. Well, the door's locked. Sir, I must tell you something. What is it? Or rather, I must show you something. Please meet in the lounge as soon as you can. This is the famous explorer Stephen Don, who he made his name investigating ruins in Egypt and Abyssinia. He later became obsessed with the fleet of Atlantis. The artist signed his name as Kipling, must be Dutch. Okay, we can go in here. This desk is very similar to the desk at the public school I went to. Functions slightly soul-stirring. There's a book of poetry under the desk. I have no use of it. We may need it later on, though. That's why they're telling us about it. A topographical map of Great Britain and Ireland. The blackboard contains an eclectic mix of mathematical examples, including the quadratic equation. If these are for young children, they must have been prodigies, or the teacher was unrealistic. I have no reason why I put the lesson on board. Okay. A book about geometry and trigonometry. I learned this stuff years ago when I started training to be an architect. A book about botany, open to a page with flowers that look just like the ones I've seen by the lake, but none of the varieties mentioned are purple. Even though it's interesting, I'm not about to steal a child's school book. This place looks creepy as hell. A Paddler of Scars by Connor Mountain. The man in the painting is rigorously wearing his scarf across his shoulders. A musical box with a picture of a mountain on the lid. Unfortunately, musical in place since there's no handle to crank. No. The decimal span is versatile, but not that versatile. I wonder, maybe the screwdriver? The bed looks old, but it's not sure it sounds like I'm used recently. A simple and convenient place to store clothes. The doors are into the section of a nail file. I've taken it. Can we use the nail file on this? I can get the nail file to hold in the silent music box. We can't get enough purchase to turn the gears around. Okay, so that's what we need to do. But I need to figure out what to do with it. Can we combine items? I guess not. The bed looks old, but also sound in the news recently. Anything else to look at on there? The parents are still ornamental and go along with the color scheme of this room, but does somehow makes the whole room feel colder. Yeah, no shit. I can't recognize whether this paper is adorable or terrifying. I'm gonna go with terrifying. An empty goldfish bowl. Did it hold fish in the past? I have news for an empty fish bowl. At least not yet. That's what they really mean. I wonder if the damage from repairs due to this has been so far with anyone or due to negligence. Okay, so we can't go any further this way yet. Okay, we can't go any further that way. The lounge. What was it you wanted to show me? Not here. We need to go back to where Paul is. He's hanging in the forest. I didn't know if I could trust you, but I've been observing your actions. You generally seem to be focused on finding a lost family. I didn't know if you're simply another of Lady Charlotte's gentleman friends playing some sort of role play. I can assure you I was definitely not. I only want to find my wife and children. Sir, my friend Paul is obviously the victim of some evil. He will not be the last unless someone puts a stop to it. Unfortunately, the police have little interest in coming out here. We're many miles of tough terrain away from the nearest police station, and since the horses died, we have no real way of contacting the outside world. You seem like an honest and intelligent man. I beg you to help me find out what is happening and stop it. I promise you I will do what I can. However, I will do that in the next video. But my priority is to find my family. Sir, I believe they're in danger from the same evil. I don't know whom I can trust in the mansion other than Molly. As for the friend Lord Charles was questioned at length by police after the children died. Their fellows always claimed both deaths were tragic accidents. Maybe they were. Lady Denison is not of sound mind, and Lord Denison is, well, an enigma. Giles is too fond of his whiskey, and who knows what he might do under his influence. And Gary is a good man at heart, but simple of head and maybe manipulated. Who knows what any of them are capable of? Until you came here, I felt there was no hope. But if you felt something evil was going on, even the police would do nothing. Why did you not leave yourself? Surely you don't feel safe here. I didn't know where I could go, really. Being an uneducated orphan and all. We're practically prisoners here, miles from the nearest town, and have to get there on foot. Francesca's manner of speech is becoming more like the street language she grew up with, perhaps because of the emotional stress she's under, or due to her feeling more comfortable in my presence now she's decided to be trusted. But that's not the only reason. I had a friend, one of the other kitchen maids she was. We came to the mansion within a couple of weeks of each other. Maisie, name was, and we became fast friends almost straight away. But we started to grow suspicious. Maisie and me most of me, she decided to run away. Wanted me to come with more, she did, but I was too scared going back on the streets to beg her, so I stayed here. She did go, but she never wrote. She promised faithfully to write and never did. I'm convinced something happened to her.
There could be a number of reasons why she didn't write.
Not Maisie. She always ran away, she did. Walk across the woods for 100 miles, no problem for her. She's fit as a fiddle. Something was done to her, something terrible. But maybe not only her, but I ain't got no proof. And then there's the noises. Awful noises, like people in pain. Dull, muffled noises, sometimes in the house, sometimes over here.
Francesca points out a path hidden behind some undergrowth that leads to a rock face at the end of the path.
I believe that someone from the mansion is part of the heinous plot. The servants are discouraged from coming out here, but since Maisie left, I had made sure to find as much as I could without getting caught. This may be important to your efforts to save your family. I believe they may be caught up in the same despicable intrigue. I must get back, but I wish you success.
Well, that was an interesting first attempt. I hope you've enjoyed this first video of my Let's Play of The Corruption Within. Stay tuned for more. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave comments, and I will see you next time. But for now, bye-bye.